welcome to my craft room. I made another card for this background, only it's a lot fancier. And I kind of wanted to show you guys the difference. Same birch trees, same pine trees, same snow in the background. I just changed them a little bit. This one is a little more farmhouse casual, and this one is way more fancy. So I thought I would put out an extra card this week, since it's Christmas, of course, since we're using the same background. So it goes into the envelope like this, and then it displays fantastic. So there you go. And it's really easy and it's really fast. So let's go make it. Okay, guys, here we are on the canvas. If you do not have this on your canvas, go down in my description, click on the Cricut link, and Cricut will put this on your canvas and you'll be ready to go. I'm going to move this envelope out of our way. Everything here is ready for you. We just need to get our images. So you're going to click on here at images, and I will have a list for you here in just a second. Our first one is the sleigh. It's the very first one here. It's hashtag M35BEB, just like that. You're going to click on this. It will put it down here by add. Go ahead and do this whole list of images. Go ahead, get them all put on the canvas, and I will meet you over there. We'll get it all ready to cut out. Okay, now we've got all of our images on our canvas. I'm going to move a bunch of these guys out of our way. Let's do our background first. That's going to be the easiest. Let's do our birch trees first. It's obvious we know that they're going to be white, so I'm going to grab both of those, hit edit, go over here, pick white, and our size is going to be 2.6. So this one, the width is going to be 2, but we've got to change the height. So you're going to unlock your button and you're going to make this 6. There we go. Same with this one, 2 width, 6 height. And there you go, just like that. This one, we need to duplicate, go to actions, hit duplicate, but we also need to switch this around. So we're going to go to edit and hit way over here on the right is horizontal. There we go. This one goes here. This one goes here. Now our trees. I did everything on this in the super dark green right here. Okay. Oh, whoops, I should have done both of them at the same time. Sorry about that. There we go. And our 3 trees. I'm going to go ahead and lock the button. And they're 2 inches wide. And they're done. And this one goes here. We're going to need 2 of these, but let's change its size. It is going to be 1.3 wide. Okay, and then you're going to go to actions and duplicate. Oh, I'm wrong. Here, this one goes over here. This one goes here. This one goes here. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll do our Merry Christmas sign at the end. Okay, first, our sleigh is 3.2. Make sure your button's locked. 3.25 wide. There we go. Now, we need some colors. So we're going to go in here to layers, and let's find it. It's going to be in the green. I did this in 2 different colors of a dark red. But I changed it so you could really make it different. So when you're getting your stuff ready to cut, it'll be easier for you. So first, this very bottom layer. First one is this dark red. Okay, and then the overlay here. I went ahead and picked the bright red just because it's easier for me to keep track. This is my glitter gold. And of course you can do a flat, smooth gold. You can do brown. You can do anything you want. You can do yellow if you want. It doesn't matter. Do you see this funky kind of yellow color that's already picked? We're going to keep that. And then this is going to be your dark green, your super dark green. These are your gifts that are in your sleigh. This is the cutout, and it is going to be in the dark red. Then this is going to be the brighter red. There we go. That's right. Yeah, that's right. So this is the underneath. It's going to be the darker red. This is the overlay. It's going to be the lighter red. This, to be the truth, I actually cut out two of these. First, I wanted the presents to be the red, the dark red at the top. But that makes our holly leaves on the sled the wrong color. So I'm going to go in here. These are tiny, tiny pieces. So, and I'm going to put duplicate. I'm going to bring this over here, and then I'm going to make it green. And then I'm going to have an extra holly leaf down here. So I can put these up here. These are red. They give you your holly berries too. So right there, that dark red. Okay, there we go. Sled is done. We're going to change everything about our reindeer before we duplicate it. And that way you don't have to change it but one time. So the size on this guy is going to be 2.5 height. So we're going to go on this side and it's going to be 2.5. There we go. I'm going to bring it up so we can kind of see what we're doing here. Let's go into layers and find him. There he is. The very, very back outline I didn't do. Now, this is the very front. And when I first made them, I did a really light cream color. But then they didn't stand out very good against the snow. So I ended up making this the darker color. So let's do that first so we don't get messed up. You're going to hit edit. You're going to go in here. And we're just going to pick this dark brown. This one I'm going to go ahead and do this. You've got 4 different browns, and it doesn't matter as long as they're all different. And then this one, I actually did this one in the lighter. I didn't like it as much, but again, personal choice. So I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to go even lighter. There we go. He is going to be the dark red here. This guy is going to be your dark green. This dark green. And all of these are going to be your glitter gold. So it's going to be this one instead. That's going to match your other. There we go. Look at him. He's all fixed up. Okay, let's take our layers off. We need 2 more of these, so we're going to go to actions and duplicate, and there you go. Your deer are all done. Okay, there's those guys. Now, all we need is our Merry Christmas sign. Let's do this first. Let's go into the layers. I am not going to be using the holly that comes with this. So, first, let's go ahead and get rid of those. You just hit this little eye here. These are the berries, and these are the hollies. So basically, you're only going to have this guy, okay? Now, first, let's change his size. He is going to be 1.95 wide, 1.95. Ooh, okay, now, we got to do an offset of this, so I'm going to bring it up first. Let's go ahead and change its color. Go into edit, basic cut. And if I've got the right one, it's this darker. If not, we'll fix it when we get into sync. You're here in edit, so you're going to hit this offset button. Okay. I don't want it that big. I want it really small, but I need something behind this that will define that gold. You can either keep pushing this down, or you can click on these numbers over here, And I think I did a 0.04. Let's try that. Yep, that's it right there. Okay, so I'm going to hit done. And then this is our dark red. There we go. There is your Merry Christmas. Then I need 3 of these guys. First, let's change their color. So let's go back into layers and let's find him. There he is. Okay, first, this is going to be our dark red. Dark red. And this is going to be, of course, our dark green. I am all about cutting the least amount of mats. And we are going to consolidate a bunch of these colors too, so we can, you know, cut even less. So then now this needs to be 0.4 wide. So you're going to go 0.4, and that's going to make them teeny-tiny. And duplicate, go back to actions, duplicate, duplicate. Now we need something to put on all of this. So you're going to go into shapes. You're going to hit circle. Okay, this is going to be white. So first let's change its color. And it is going to be 2.25. 2.25. There we go. Now, I'm going to send this to the back so we can see what we're doing here. Okay, now, I forgot to group this. Okay, I'm going to group it now. Okay, then I'm going to put this right here. Then I'm going to move this Merry Christmas around until I get 2 crossed purple lines. Oop, do you see that? Right there. Now, it's in the middle. So now that I've got it in the middle, I'm going to go ahead and group it. We'll group it again once we get our holly in where we want it. First one is going to go right up in here. And you can make it as close or as far as you would like. The second one goes right here. And this one goes right here. Boom, done. Now, I'm going to group these guys back up so I'm going to turn it just a little bit. And he goes right here. Bring to front. Now, all we've got left is our Christmas tree. Now, I'm going to confess right now, I'm going to ungroup this so I can show you. I did not use these 4 little stars line. So we're going to go into layers. Let's find our tree. We're going to click on this outline. There we go. And just hit the little I button. There we go. Okay. Now let's change our colors. This is going to be our glitter gold. This is still going to be our white, but I want to double check. We've got the right white. Yes, which means all of our whites. This one is going to be the dark green that we're already using. Okay, and this is going to be, the next one's going to be white, and we know that one's right. So there you go. There's all your colors. And our size here, I'm going to group these back up again, is going to be 2.25 wide. And there you go. And he is going to go into our support. And when he's open, he's going to show up right here. And look at that. There you go. Now, let's check sync. Okay, there's all of our dark greens. 2 of our browns. Aha, here is our gold. And we see some of our other stuff is not here. Okay, do you see here with these other reindeer? All 4 of these things all need to be the gold color. So I'm going to move them up. So you're just going to hold it down by these 2 little lines next to it. And then we are just going to, okay, if you put it just in the right spot, it'll scroll up for you. And we're going to put them with your sleigh. Now, we need to do all of these. These are the gold trim for the reindeer. And they also need to be up here. So somewhere I clicked the wrong color, and so my apologies. But this is also a good chance for me to teach you how to move these around. Last one. Okay. I really like this card. I did the other one with the pickup truck, and I think they both turned out really, really cute. Okay, here we go. Let's check it. Green, your 4 browns, your 2 of your browns, your gold, your dark red, your blue, 2 more of your browns, your bright red, and your white. So you're all synced up. You're ready to cut, but I need you to do a favor for me. So once we get onto the craft table, it'll go a lot faster. And you are way too good at all of this to watch me glue together all of these little tiny pieces. If you don't know what comes first or what comes next, usually when you go into layers, you start at the bottom and work your way up. So if you can do me a favor and go ahead and glue this up, all 3 of these guys up, this up, and this up. And then when we get on the craft table, it's going to be boom, boom, boom fast. Okay. And we need to make one more piece. So we're going to go into shapes here. Let's click on this triangle. What this is, it's going to give our tree, it's going to hook it to this. And it's going to give us a little bit more support behind. You're not going to see it. So this is going to go right here. As a matter of fact, let's change it to 3 high. Okay. So you're just going to do that and then change it to the white. So go ahead, cut all of this out. Get these things glued up, and I will meet you over at the craft table, and we will get it put together. Okay, here we are on the craft table. As you can see, it's well loved. Glue, I use art glitter glue. I buy it with a refill, this small thing and this little tiny tip. A little bit goes a very long way. And envelopes for this. There is one on this this project. This isn't it. It's square, obviously, but I bought some bigger copy paper to make them out of, or you can buy these at any craft store. Okay, first, here is your main card. You're going to fold it in the middle, and then on the left-hand side, you will have a score line, and we are going to fold it backwards. This is why they are called Z-fold cards. And let's straighten it back out again. Let's go ahead and do the background here. The bigger goes on the bigger, of course, just like this. Let's get them glued in. And then, now I made another card out of this same background. And I'm going to show it to you here in just a second. And how you can change, you can still use the same background and change things up a little bit. This is going to be a 1/4 inch all the way around. And so using the same background, I did another card just like this, only it is more farmhouse, red pickup truck than the fancy schmancy one we are doing here. So, but it's very easy to use the same background for both, because in the end, it's basically the background. So, and nobody pays that much attention to the background, but I'll tell you what, if you didn't have it, then the card wouldn't look right. So, okay, now we've got all of our blue panels on. Grab your birch tree trunks, well, and your pine trees, that's up to you. Let's get them all turned the right way. This one goes over here. We are going to trim this so they're even across the top. And they will start, well, they will stop up here at the very top of our blue. We don't want, you know, just, oh, wait, here, this one goes here, this one goes here. We don't want them to look like they're just floating around in space. We want to make sure that they have a starting and stopping point that makes sense. So basically, you're looking through you know, a forest. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and glue these in, but I'm only going to tack them at the very top because we've got to put these trees back behind them. Okay, so this first one, this branch right here is pretty much going to touch the blue. And of course, we also want the top to touch. So let's do that one first. So if you've watched any of my videos, you know I have a special needs adult son who works at our local small chain movie theater tearing the tickets. And he has had a few busy weekends because of Black Panther and now Strange World, and of course Christmas and, you know, Christmas and Thanksgiving break are the busiest. Okay, now before we glue this one down, I want you to get one of your bigger trees. Okay. And it's going to go right here up under this branch. The branch is going to cut off the top of the tree. Your Merry Christmas thing's going to be here anyway. And then I'm going to move it over enough to where it's completely on the blue. Okay, so I'm going to sneak some glue up here now that I've got it where I want it. There we go. So we just tack it at the top. And then we're going to glue it the rest of the way down. Very simple. I messed up on the other one I did that's just like this. I glued all the trees down, and then I had to lift them back up in order to get the trees underneath. Okay, now, we're only going to tack the top, remember? I went a little bit too far on that one, so I'm going to pull it out a little bit. Now, this one, it's going to be the same. This branch is going to touch over here. This is going to be the side wall, so you're really not going to see this, but I'm going to turn it so I can see what I'm doing here. Make sure I get it all even, just like that. Do the top. We're going to slide this under here. Okay, do you see where this little squiggly line is here? That's where we're going to put it. Right there. So the top is even, almost even with this little dot here and this one over here by this squiggly. There we go. Now, it's going to be under, just below the one little dot and under the squiggly one. Okay, now we can go ahead and glue all these down. It just makes it a little easier. But you also kind of want this 3D background. Okay, this one is going to be the same. This branch is going to hit right over here, right up against the blue. The top is going to be even with it. So now we're going to get this one back behind. And it's going to go a little closer, a little lower than this one. Not much, just a little bit. There, just right there. Just like that. Okay. Now, why is all this spot blank? That's where your Christmas tree is going to show up once the card is open and on display. So we want to kind of keep the background for the tree plain. So the tree can star all on its own. Okay, I'm going to try and get these little branches back here. There we go. Now, okay, now let's do this bottom thing. The bigger part is going to be on your left. The two smaller parts are going to be on your right. So first, let's get this bent. The middle one is going to go down, well, or what they would call a mountain fold. And this one over here is going to go into a valley fold. Do you see that? Okay, now let's straighten it back out. Okay, on the truck one, let me show you something. Okay, as you can see, this is basically the same background. And on this one, I popped up these trees. I didn't do that on this one because this doesn't have all the fancy stuff, you know, all the sleigh and all the reindeers going across it. It only has the pickup truck. And so I inked all of this snow blue because I needed some more detail. But on this card, I'm not going to. I'm going to still put the different levels, but it's only going to be a suggestion with the colors. If you do want to ink yours, then go ahead and do that right now. You're going to do all of these pieces, the top of this, and the top of these larger back pieces, and the top where your tree goes. You see that? Okay. But the reason I did that on this and the red birds and everything is because it needed more, because all it has is the pickup truck. So, but this one, I wanted to keep it less busy underneath. So you're going to get your thin pieces. Now I'm going to put the long one in first. And if you don't like these, you do not have to put them in. That's your choice. Or if you want to ink them, go for it. And if you don't know how, just check that video of that pickup truck card I just showed you. And I show on there how. Okay. So I just want a suggestion of extra snow. They right down here. So not anything big. This is going to wrap around the side, and I didn't glue mine right, so this will wrap around the side, so you're not going to see most of it. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now, there's your snow for behind your sled. Now, let's get our snow on this background. And then we'll be done with all the background stuff. Now, the way that I set this card up is, you can see, right? Yeah. I put the bottom of this right at the bottom of the blue, so no blue shows underneath. I want it a completely snow level all the way back. So now we need to put the snow on the background. Okay. So this one, of course, goes over here, and these two go over here. Yeah, that looks good. But remember, we have to have these trees kind of sitting on something. So first, now I'm going to double check this and make sure. Yeah, see, I just want another level of snow back here. Do you see that? Okay. So we know it's going to go right up under this little guy's branch. Okay. And again, I am not inking this. That's a personal choice. If you want to ink yours, then go for it. Okay, there we go. And then I think this one goes all the way over here. And this one goes here. Yeah. That's right. Oh, and I pushed this one over a little too far. I may have to come back and trim the edge of that because I didn't get it all the way. And remember, it has to bend. So this one is actually overlapping my score line. So I'm going to go back in there and trim it here in just a sec. I need to turn this up. Okay, there's that one. And how are we doing? Good. Look at that. And this one. But it's not a big deal. You just trim a little bit off because the card still needs to be able to fold. Because you need to be able to put it into your envelope. So let's test it. Yeah, it's still folding, so we are good. Okay, we've got all of our background and our base done. Let's go ahead and glue this guy on. What we're going to do is you're going to get this right where you want it. For me, it was right here at the very bottom of this light blue. Let me make sure that you can see. And you're going to match it up exactly on either end. Okay. There we go. Now, once you get it all lined up where you want it, then you are going to flip this square back. And that's what you're going to glue. go. And then once you get your glue on it and you make sure that everything is straight and lined up good, mine kind of got bent, and then you're just going to smooth it out just like that. Okay, then we're going to go on the other side. We are only going to glue this square right here. So what I usually do is I find my score mark, I put my thumb there, and now I know not to go past my thumb when gluing this. Okay, so we're going to glue this square. Okay, and then you're just going to do the same thing. Smooth it right down. There we go. I'm going to let it sit for just a second. And then you will pick your card up. Let's make sure that it folds, and it does. And there you go. There's your square. Now, I want to show you something real fast. Okay, I have a sample. The yellow is this, and the blue is your back, okay? Now, do you see this piece of pink in here? You see how the pink butts up against the back of the card? That's what your Christmas tree is going to sit on. So it is going to go right here. Now, I made it so you have a little bit of a snow coming up out of the middle. First, let's go ahead and bend these back. Then let's figure out what our spacing is going to be. Let's get our Christmas tree. Now, your Christmas tree is going to go right here at this fold. Okay, so I want to know how tall I want it. You see that? So we can make this as short or as tall as we want. And it's not going to show that much because it is going to be just another snowbank. Okay, so I like that. It's about a 1/2 inch up. This is going to be, between 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch up, probably about right there. So you're going to put glue on this, but this one goes up against the wall. So this side, you can glue the whole thing. Okay, there we go. Now I make sure that I leave these bent back. Normally, I would go in from the top, but your camera is up there, so I can't. So I'm actually going to go in through the side. Okay, I'm going to slide this in here. I'm going to make sure that I keep it about a 1/2 inch above this side. Okay, so I'm going to slide it in here and get it where I want it. Make sure that my sides are, that these tabs are butting up against the very back of my card. There, do you see that? Okay, make sure I can still fold it. And there you go. Can you see that? So that is going to be your brace for your tree. Okay, now let's get our sleigh and reindeer and our Merry Christmas put on. Kind of leave this open as much as you can so, the glue has a chance to dry, and you don't want to glue itself together. And this is a good chance for me to say this. Leave the card open. I always say this. Leave the card open for a few hours, overnight if possible. Make sure everything's dry. You don't want to glue the card onto itself or onto your envelope when it goes in. So let's get all of our little sparkly guys out. Okay, we'll start with our sled. I put my snow drifts towards the bottom of this. So this is sort of going to go on the bottom, sort of going to stick up over our layer, or over our pop-up. So let me get some good glue on here. So I probably shouldn't have put any glue up here. I will see here in just a second. Okay, you can put your thing back flat. This may be a little catty, but that's a cattywampus, one of my dad's expressions. But that's fine. Don't worry about it. As long as it's folding this way, that's all we care about. Okay? So I'm going to bring this up. Okay, I'm going to take this glue off. Say, look, I messed up. When you mess up, it's really easy to fix. Okay, now mine is about between 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch from the bottom. And then one of our reindeer are also going to go next to our sled. Now, I am going to put him about probably 1/8 of an inch from this score line. Okay. Oh, and don't glue his horn or the upper part of his body. Okay. Like I was just about ready to do. Okay, now. And of course, he's going to be about the same level as our sled, his feet. Let me make sure I've got it straight, and I do. Okay, then you're going to do 1, 1. So, simple. Now, you know that below his nose is the only thing that's going to be actually on the paper. If you're worried about not having someplace to sign, you don't have to put this last reindeer in, or don't put the middle one in. It's not going to show that much, and then you can sign over here. That's a personal choice again. So now this guy's going to go right here in the middle, and remember, he's going to be way over here on the side. So, and then this guy is going to go here. And, oh, I really like this. And I love this sled and reindeer from this, is it the Scandinavian set? Something like that. Uh-oh, you know what? Look, I just realized I put my deer, I'm going to have to fix that guy. And then now this one is going to glue straight down. I had glued this too far down, and when I pulled him off, some of his dark paper stayed on here. And I never could get it all off, so it looked good. So I ended up just cutting another piece of this little thing. I lifted up his legs, I slid it under, and I glued it on top. Done. You always got to know how to fix your mistakes. So there is that. Look, there's our sleigh and our reindeer. Let's put our Merry Christmas on. And I didn't do a, usually I'll do like a outline on here. But I want it to blend better into our background. Now, I'm going to put it even with my blue on both sides, just like that. Look at that, you're almost done. All we have left is our tree. This is, again, another personal choice. I wasn't real fond of this showing because it's supposed to be out in the woods. Of course, you can have it showing. It's not a big deal. Or you can kind of put it back here like this, which is what I'm going to do, because I just don't want. But if you like it and you want it to show, then put it in the front. Okay? So I'm going to put a ton of glue on this. And this little tiny, tiny connection. And then I know these two little curves are going to hit the bottom of my thing. And this is so thin between the pot and the tree. I want to make sure that I have it really, really well supported. So I'm going to go up under here and kind of push on it. And then I'm going to open it. You will know it's straight if it's right on this. There we go, just like that. Oh. Mine's not dry enough yet. Here, I'm going to bring it up here to the front. Okay, you're just going to need to be careful with it until it dries because it has such a weak connection point. As a matter of fact, let's fix that in case you're having that same problem. You do not have to hand cut this. This is what your little white triangle is for. Again, none of this is going to show. It does not have to be perfect. Then this is going to go down on my support. Okay, and let me show you. I apologize. I was not expecting this. Okay, now I'm going to set this right behind. I'm going to glue my tree and my pop-up. Ha-ha, look at that. That solved it. And it will be better once. Okay, look. It's still not straight. It will do better once it gets dry. And look at that. Look at the difference that just made. Look, it's exactly the same as this one now. See? Because it was heavier because we've got so many more layers on it. And look at that. And look, you can't even tell that it's there. So There you go. Look at that. Look what a beautiful card you made. You did a great job. I am really proud of you.